On the Van Hoosen farm, Bertha Van Hoosen called this her 300-acre playground. And this is where she kind of cut her teeth and started understanding the whole evolution. She started learning the names and the scientific names of every butterfly and every plant. And I think all that led eventually into a career in medicine, where she started learning Latin names, and her sister also taught Latin and Greek. So she had some really interesting background experiences in this rural part of Michigan when she was growing up. Eventually, when she entered the University of Michigan, it was the only school in Michigan at that time that allowed women to go to school there. And she was one of those very first graduating classes. And she was considered the disgrace to her family when she finally announced that she was not going to be a school teacher like her older sister, and she was going to pursue a career in medicine. And within the family, it caused a huge rift. Her mother was just distraught. And her father even said that he would not support her financially because of the concern and depression that she brought to her mother when she talked about going into medicine. And yet that was always her passion. And while she's really known for being a surgeon, she considers herself an OBGYN. And the reason why is that she said women were not accepted at all as surgeons. And so she had to go through the back door into surgery by announcing that she was an OBGYN. This was her home. She had a practice here locally, but she also had a practice in downtown Chicago, about 3.5 hours away. And I know they said that she delivered 10,000 babies in Chicago during the course of her career. At one point, when she finally passed away in 1954, they considered her the best-known woman doctor in the world, was Dr. Bertha Van Hoosen. And I think one of the favorite things I like talking about her was that in her career, she would go out around the world. She was in China, she was in Japan, she was in Holland, she traveled extensively. She was always mentoring those young women that had studied underneath her. And I think that's a great lesson for all of us. That's what history teaches you, is that it's a great lesson to go out and always mentor that next generation. Don't keep all that information, tight to you. Always be sharing it. And she was taking not only new experiences and new strategies and new techniques in medicine, but also tools of the trade that were being invented. And she was making sure that her surgical daughters had the very best.